Hello everyone, Johnny Hurricane here from GamersHeroes.com, and today we're going to go over what class to pick basically in Elden Ring, because I don't think there's anyone that stands out, but they're all a little different. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get started. Okay, Vagabond starts with a sword, shield, and a halberd. This is your knight. This is your beefy, tanky individual. They have high HP and high strength. Their armor is good. One side is that they have a fat roll, so you have to unequip the halberd, or if you're using the halberd, you have to unequip your sword and shield. You can't, unless you upgrade endurance, they can't roll properly. Still a good pick for a new player. Next, you got the warrior, dual wielding 2 scimitars, or falchions, I'm not entirely sure. This one's a bit advanced, highly dependent on roll, and dex weapons aren't exactly easy to find early, surprisingly. Don't recommend this for a new player. If you know what you're doing, you're probably not here if you know what you're doing, but if you know what you're doing, you can pick that class. Hero, this one is sort of like the Vagabond, except it's got more HP, and it's also got a little bit more HP, or endurance and strength as well. The downside here, of course, it doesn't have the heavy armor, it doesn't have the good shield. Basically, if you get hit, you're going to take more damage, but you have more HP. It's very easy to find new armor and replace it on the hero. I like the hero's base stats for a strength-based character, so consider that. Just know that early on you're going to take damage if you are trying to go strength-based, and then you can just find some new armor or buy some new armor pretty early. You do also have an axe, so you gotta like the axe, or you can go buy a sword, whatever. And don't use the shield. Don't bother with that little leather shield. It's not going to do you much good. Just learn to roll. Bandit. Again, I would consider this a bit of an advanced class. It is only level 5, so it has the perk of being level. You can level it pretty easily. The dagger is just not a good weapon, unless you're doing backstabs, and backstabs is a bit more advanced. The Astrologer. This, quite frankly, is for magic users. If you want to be a magic user, this is the class you should pick, regardless of if you're good or bad, quite frankly, especially at the beginning of the game. It's really simple. You don't have much HP, but as long as you can keep the distance and cast your spells and roll out of any type of range attack, you'll be okay. That class is actually pretty freaking strong, especially when you get higher level spells. Prophet is the faith user, and he looks a little raggedy and probably like, I don't want to play that guy, but this is my favorite class. Faith is my jam. You start with a spear, which first off, I love spears. You get range, and when you're on horseback, it's even better. You also start off with a heal, which is good, but I don't use it too much. And you start off with a fire spell. So Faith has kind of been converted to pyro in this game. Yeah, it's still lightning, but fire is one of its main things. And the fire is basically like a melee move, but you can spam it. So you just click the button, you just... It's like Roy Mustang from Full Metal Alchemist, except that you have to be point blank to use it. You snap your finger and you shoot fire. It's actually a lot of damage. I really like the Prophet class. Consider it. And for my fellow weebs, we have the Samurai. The Samurai is actually pretty freaking good. His armor is strong. His vigor is decent. Shield's trash. This is... Okay, so as the Vagabond is the strength... The Vagabond and the Hero are the strength-based melee users. The Warrior and the Samurai are the dex-based ones. They're not going to really rely on shields and heavy armor quite as much. They're going to rely on their dodges. That being said, the katana you start with is pretty strong, and it can be upgraded really well. The armor you start with, again, pretty good, and you can roll without, being fat roll. And he starts with a bow with fire arrows. Bow's pretty good. Like, even if you're just trying to trigger 1 or 2 enemies to come at you, you need a range thing, and a bow is going to do it. Plus, it stacks off of your dex. So if you're going to be a dex warrior and you have bow, I'm just saying, you're going to start doing a ton of damage. Consider this class if you don't want to be a strength-based user. All right, so now we're going to go over to the Prisoner. This one reminds me, if you played Demon Souls, the Royal from Demon Souls, where you're kind of a hybrid of dex and magic, which you might be like, well, I don't want to do that, but it's not bad. My faith user is a hybrid strength and faith. And this is a good one as well, because he starts with good magic spells. His magic spells are more based around, like, you put something up and then you attack. So his spell is like, he has a homing, well, they're all pretty much homing, but he puts a little dart above him and it shoots off. And now while that dart is going, you can still use your sword to attack. So that's... As opposed to the other sorcerer, where they're kind of more focused on shooting spells at a distance, this guy's more used to, like, getting in there and swinging. A bit more advanced for a magic user, but really powerful, because eventually you'll be able to coat your weapon with your magic. So if you're good at melee, you can get behind and use that, or even in front with your magical weapon and your magical darts over. You're just going to start doing a lot of damage. I just think he's a bit squishy, and he requires a little bit of experience to get right. Now, for the Confessor, I thought this was going to be my favorite class. I think this is the worst class in the game. Level 10, Vigor's 10, Mind's 13, Endurance 10, Strength 12, Dexterity 12, Intelligence 9. You see all those numbers are extremely close. He's nowhere. He's got nothing that he's proficient in. His 14th Faith is not going to do him anything. His 13th Strength. I don't like this class. I personally think you should skip it. It starts with a Faith spell that makes you harder to detect, but you can sneak with heavy armor anyway, so I don't see the relevance in that. And then he starts with a less good heal compared to the Prophet. Personally, Confessor, no good to me. I would go Prophet if you're going Faith. And then lastly, we have the Wretch. This has been in every game. Do you want to build your class from the start? This is how you do it. You're going to start naked and with a club. All your stats are going to be 10, but you're level 1, which means you're going to level up way quicker than everyone else. Obviously, it goes without saying, with no armor and no weapons, that character, that class, that's advanced, okay? That's, you're going to want to play the game at first to learn the mechanics before trying out the Wretch. Eventually, you might want to, but I don't recommend it if you're a new player. So, personal opinion, strength-based guys for melee, you're going to want to either go Vagabond or Hero. Dex-based, honestly, just go Samurai. I don't like the dual-wielder. I really don't. I'm just not a dual-wielding guy. Faith users, go Prophet. Arcane users, if you're new, go to the Glintstone Sorcerer. And if you're feeling confident and you want to do a hybrid melee build, then try the Prisoner. I do like the Prisoner. It's a complicated class to play in the beginning if you don't know what you're doing. That's going to do it for me, though. That's all the classes. I hope this helped you figure out who you wanted to play. So if you liked what you saw and got what you needed, like, comment, subscribe. See you guys in the next video. Later, Gators.